Hello, my amazing artist. Today we're going to make a project inspired by the artist Takashi Murakami. We're going to begin to learn how to do paper weaving. So write your name on your paper, then turn it over. First step, you need to fold your paper in half horizontally. So line up the edges and crease. Then rotate your paper so that the folded side is near your belly. The folded side needs to be closest to you, near your belly, and the open side away from you. That is because we are now going to cut on the folded edge. But watch what I do, artist. You need to cut on the folded edge and then stop before you get to the very edge of the paper, because if you kept going, it would fall off. So instead, I'm going to cut and then I'm going to stop where I'm putting these black marks. So take my scissors, cut starting on the folded edge of my paper, cut in a straight line until I get to the dot and stop. And again, repeat. Cut and stop. I'm going to continue this process until I cut all of my strips. Now let's count. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips. Next, rotate it back and open up your paper. And look, you can now see the strips that we're going to use for our paper weaving. So you need one black strip of paper and you're going to place it on top of the white and then that next strip under the white. So watch again. Over the white, slides under the white, and over the next one. Next, I have to go under, so lift up that paper, slide it under, and I can pull it through and it goes over, and next is under. I made a pattern. Over, under, over, under, over, under. And then I repeat with a new black strip. But I want to go opposite. So instead of over, I'm going under to start. Slide it over, under the white paper, over the white paper, under, and over. So again, I made a pattern. My pattern is under, over, under, over, under, and over. All right. And the rest of it, you just keep repeating these steps. Remember, under, over, under, over. And then to make the black paper strips fit, you might have to slide them so that they're closer together and not spread out. And there you go, artist. When you filled it all up, then we're going to glue so that the paper strips don't wiggle and they can stay still. Make sure that you massage your paper so that glue really makes the paper stick and it stays there forever. Last thing you have to do is make sure your name is on this. If you don't have your name, I don't know who the artist is. And also, you can cut off the extra black paper. Please cut this off so that it is the same length as your white paper. So notice how I'm trying to line up my scissors and then cut off the extra black paper. This will just make your paper weaving look really nice and complete. Hello, my amazing artist. Let's draw some flowers in the style of Takashi Murakami. So you can use a tracer, like the green circle tracer I'm doing, to help with your circle. Then to draw my flower petals, I'm just using 2 lines. It kind of reminds me of like really tall or skinny C's or just kind of slanted lines. But notice how I'm rotating my paper so that my hand is comfortable as I'm going around the circle and drawing my flower petals. I also encourage you to make different sized flowers today. So you could use a cup to help you draw your circle, or anything that you have that's circular, like a water bottle, maybe a roll of tape. But after you draw the circle, then simply draw your petals around to complete the flower. For this project, I encourage you to draw 2 big flowers and then 3 or more small flowers. This will create variety so that some of the picture is filled with big flowers and some of the picture is filled with smaller flowers. It is up to you what you want to do, but you need to draw at least 5 flowers for this project. Also know that when you're drawing, the flowers should not touch. Do you hear that? Not touch. You don't want the flowers to touch because we will be cutting each of the flowers out and then gluing them to our background. Our background is going to be the paper that you have woven. So important to draw these flowers so they are not touching. When you have completed drawing your flowers, remember, you need at least 5. Draw faces on them. We're doing this because Takashi Murakami is famous for his smiling flowers. But feel free to draw whatever faces you want. Lastly, you need to color. So look at this technique of how I'm using my marker. I'm going to outline one section and then fill it in using lines. Then you can see the lines of my marker and it creates kind of a cool texture. Try this today. You might like how it looks. So again, I'm going to outline and then I just start filling in the petal. See that? That pattern or texture looks a little different. Or you can try using a combination of markers and crayons. So here's one strategy. Outline a section with marker, however you want, and then color in the white space with the crayon. That dark marker will contrast with the light color of the crayon, and it will just add some interest to your flowers. So I encourage you to try one of these techniques today on your flowers. When you have finished coloring in your flowers, you need to cut them out. After cutting them out, we are going to arrange the flowers to create your composition. Artists, please take the time to play with where you want your flowers. So I'm looking at the different colors of my flowers and I'm trying to create movement and balance. This is where my eye moves around the art in a nice way. So as you're placing your flowers, it's super important to think of where they are and how the colors work together. I ended up moving mine around a lot until I was happy with my composition. When you are satisfied with your composition, let's start gluing. Today, I would use a glue sponge. So you could place down a flower on the sponge, pick it up, it now has glue on the back, so it's ready to be set down. You can also just pick up the flower, use the glue brush, and put the glue on the back of it, place it down on your background, and you're done. Make sure to press all the edges of the flower down onto your background to make sure that none of them are sticking up or nothing falls off. And there you go, artist. There's your finished project inspired by Takashi Murakami.